The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Daisy Chen stood before the crystalline podium, her dark eyes sweeping across the assembled alien delegates. For 3 cycles, humanity had petitioned for membership among the star's civilized species. For 3 cycles, they had been denied. "You are prey species pretending to be predators," Counselor Vrax had said during their last rejection, his reptilian features twisted in contempt. "You have no natural weapons, no venom, no armor. You are soft things that somehow stumbled into space." Today was different. Today, Daisy had brought proof. Harry Morrison sat in the observer's gallery, his muscular frame barely contained by the formal diplomatic suit. The former Marine had reluctantly agreed to accompany Daisy as Earth's cultural consultant, though he suspected she had deeper reasons for requesting his presence specifically. "Honored Council," Daisy began, her voice steady despite the weight of humanity's future resting on her words. "You have questioned our species' right to stand among you. You see our lack of claws and fangs as weakness, but you fundamentally misunderstand what made humans the apex predator of our world." A Zilari delegate chittered mockingly, its insectoid mandibles clicking. "Then enlighten us, Softskin. What makes your kind so special?" Daisy smiled, and something in that expression made several delegates shift uncomfortably. "Our greatest weapon was never physical. It was psychological. We call it persistence." She activated the holographic display showing Earth's savannah. "While you evolved ambush tactics and overwhelming force, we evolved endurance. We hunted by simply refusing to stop. We tracked prey for days, weeks even, until they collapsed from exhaustion. We didn't need to be faster or stronger. We just needed to be inevitable." Harry watched the delegates' reactions carefully. The carnivorous species looked intrigued. The herbivores looked disturbed. "But that was primitive history," Frax interrupted. "What relevance does this have now?" "Everything," Daisy replied. "Because that instinct never left us. It's in our DNA, our culture, our very psychology. We are the species that looked at the impossible and said, 'Not yet.' We are the ones who fail 1,000 times and call it practice." Suddenly, alarms screamed through the station. Red emergency lights flooded the chamber. "Breach in Sector 7, a Kaltorian security officer shouted. "Unknown hostiles. They're through the outer hull." The chamber erupted in panic. Delegates scrambled for exits as weapons fire echoed through the corridors. Through the observation windows, Harry saw them. Krill raiders, their black exoskeletons gleaming as they tore through security forces with terrifying efficiency. The Krill were the galaxy's nightmare, a species that had rejected civilization for piracy and slaughter. Harry's body changed before conscious thought caught up. His pupils dilated, his heart rate spiked, and adrenaline flooded his system. Every sense sharpened to razor focus. The diplomatic consultant disappeared, replaced by the predator that had survived 3 tours in the worst hellholes Earth could offer. Daisy saw the transformation and felt it mirroring in her own body. This was what she'd hoped to avoid demonstrating, but fate had other plans. "Stay behind me," Harry growled, his voice dropping an octave. He grabbed a fallen guard's plasma rifle, checked the charge in one fluid motion, and moved toward the breach with the purposeful stride of a man who had decided someone was going to die, and it wasn't going to be him. The council members, frozen in terror, watched in horrified fascination. A Krill warrior rounded the corner, mandibles spread wide, ready to tear into the fleeing delegates. It never saw Harry until it was too late. The human moved with mechanical precision. 3 shots to center mass combat roll, 2 more to the head. The Krill dropped, but more were coming. "Ambassador Chen," Counselor Vrax whispered. "Your colleague." His eyes, Daisy knew what he was seeing. Harry's expression had gone cold, calculating, empty of everything except the mathematical certainty of violence. This was the face their ancestors had worn while running down prey across endless plains. This was humanity's true face. Harry didn't retreat. He advanced. The Krill had been the scourge of the galaxy for centuries because they were fearless, ferocious, and knew no species that wouldn't eventually break and run. They had never encountered humans. Harry pursued them through the corridors with inexorable patience. When his rifle ran dry, he took theirs. When wounded, he adapted. When they tried to escape, he followed. The station's security feeds showed the entire council what persistence hunting looked like in the modern age. Daisy coordinated the evacuation with the same cold efficiency, her own predator instincts channeled into logistics and strategy. While Harry was the spear, she was the brain directing it. 3 hours later, the station was secure. 14 krill lay dead. Harry had sustained 2 broken ribs, multiple lacerations, and a plasma burn across his shoulder. He walked back into the council chamber, blood-stained and limping, and simply nodded to Daisy. As I was saying, Daisy continued as if the attack had been a planned demonstration. We don't stop, ever. Whether it's hunting prey across a continent, solving an impossible equation, or defending those under our protection, we are persistent to the point of insanity by your standards. Vrack stared at Harry with something between awe and terror. He should be dead. Multiple mortal wounds. Yet he stands. Because stopping means dying, Harry said quietly, his voice returning to normal even as his hands still trembled with adrenaline. And we're really, really bad at dying. The council vote was unanimous. Humanity was granted membership immediately with full honors. As they left the chamber, Vrax approached them carefully. Ambassador Chen, Commander Morrison, we owe you our lives, but I must ask, does every human possess this? Predator mode. Daisy and Harry exchanged glances. Every single one, she confirmed. We just prefer not to activate it. But when we do, when you push us to that edge, when you threaten what we love, she smiled that unsettling smile again. We become inevitable. The galaxy had finally learned what Earth had known for millennia. Humans weren't just persistence predators. They were the persistence predators, and now the stars would learn to run,